We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Yo, what it do?
Hey, it's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
Yeah, what's up?
You know what's crazy, man? Here audio issues, man. I just realized here that my hang on one sec there. Yeah, I just realized, man, that I was having some issues here with my one second here.
For you audio
All right.
listeners. Welcome to the Slash Brothers podcast. I'm Ace Kennedy, and of course, always we have the boy Charlie Venus on deck. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get into. For anybody that peeped the title, it's 5 names, and we got 5 things to talk about this evening. And yeah, we're gonna get into it.
I'm not hearing nothing, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. While he's getting that taken care of, man, as we are getting down to this wire with like 9 days left with 45 in office, just praying that nothing else drastic happens and that we can have this peaceful transition of power so that we can see what 46 is going to be able to do. I hope the start of everybody's week is going well. It seems like it's going to be a very long week, but it's one of those things like just grateful to be alive to experience it. So can't complain about that. I actually checked out Jasmine Sullivan's new album. Don't know when it dropped, but I just happened to be on Tidal and saw it, and it's really good. It seems like a very, very personal album. Seems like she might have went through some things because she definitely did talk about relationships on there, and so it felt like a very personal project. It seemed like there were skits in between each song, and each skit was even more vulnerability, like a onion was being peeled, and it felt really good. So yeah, I definitely recommend anybody who likes Jasmine Sullivan to check out that album because it was fire. And I rewatched Tenet this past weekend, and still was just as good as the first time I saw it. As a matter of fact, I actually talked to one of my homeboys about it, and we were just talking conspiracy theories and really diving into it. So if you have not checked out Tenet and you're into like Inception, James Bond, or The Matrix, it's definitely worth checking it out because to me it was like a mix of all of those. A spy thriller, but then it just has a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, you can see from the trailer with all the twists and turns and bends. It's a incredible ride. So yo, man, as y'all jump on the podcast, make sure y'all check in, leave us a comment, like, and send it on out to your peeps so we can then have this conversation. Other than that, man, look, we're gonna get into a little bit of Nicki news. We're gonna get into some a little bit of college football. What's going on there, J Rob? Thanks for checking in, brother. We definitely gonna talk about a little Kanye, and we're gonna talk about some Miss Harvey. So yeah, we're gonna get into a lot. Should be a fun dialogue. Hopefully you guys check in and let's get to it. As soon as the Charlie get his audio issues fixed. And he's working on it.
Yo.
Yeah, there you go. Let's bring him back in. You still can't hear?
No, still can't hear you, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You might have to back out and just come back all the way in. So All right.
No, I can't hear nothing you're saying.
Okay. You gotta. Yeah. I. You know, this is how, like, when you have stuff set up and you just keep continually doing it, and you just automatically have your stuff set up. What Blade are you talking about? What you want to talk about, Blade? What are you talking about, Justin? You got to elaborate, brother. I need to know what you're talking about. For the audio listeners, Justin is telling me to talk about Blade, but I have no idea what he's talking about. So hopefully he'll come through here in a minute. Yeah, he definitely having some audio issues. Oh, I haven't seen the trailer. Is the trailer out? I know what Mahershala Ali is playing Blade now, and I know there was talks of having Wesley Snipes do something still in the MCU. Maybe he would be like, the grandfather of the female Blade or whatever like that. I don't know, but I think they're still gonna have him do something in the MCU. Oh, okay. I mean, well, they kind of announced that for a while back, but yeah, he actually looks just like Wesley Snipes a little bit, which makes it a little bit more acceptable because it's one of those things like people forget that Blade was actually the first movie in that genre of the superhero stuff when it comes to Marvel. I know I think that I know a lot of times we go straight to Iron Man, which because that's when the Marvel Cinematic Universe took off, but definitely Blade was one of those jump starters to that. And shout out to Wesley Snipes for playing that character so well. So yeah. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, definitely dope. And hopefully we should have some great success with the MCU with that. Other than that, I have no idea, bro. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, bro.
For the audio listeners, Charles doesn't do
Oh
pre-production.
my gosh, bro. Listen, I don't know what happened. I was sitting here all Gucci, and I think that somehow, man, my microphone cord just apparently went out. It was plugged in and everything was all Gucci, man. And
Yeah,
then I
but I
fooled
can hear
around.
you though. That's the crazy part.
Well, I that's what I said. I couldn't. I had everything running through my mic, right? So I had so I had the headphones going through the mic and everything, though, man. But now it was shot. Hell, whole thing just completely shot, though,
It's
bro.
all good.
So
Let's get to it, man.
let's get that music going, then. Can we get started?
Yeah.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
We back. We back. Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
Bro, don't play with me like I don't know what you're trying to do with the Saints Cup. I'm gonna tell you just like I told the rest of the fans.
Are you talking about this?
Yo, you talking about this? Yeah, I'm talking about that. So for those of y'all that didn't know, the Bears lost to the Saints this weekend, and
The second time in a row.
second time in a row. And just like I told you guys when we were 5-1, that we were the worst 5-1 team in the league. So y'all adding me and adding me on posts and stuff like that, bro. I 8-miled you. I already told you what my team was. See, the difference between me and you Cowboys fans is I know where we sit. I know where we are. You Cowboys fans that still think you're going to the Super Bowl and your season is over. Like, nah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just I got a ginger tea. I'm a ginger tea drinker,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know if it's just it tastes different after you win, and then you drink out the victory cup. The drink tastes a little bit better coming out the victory mug, bro.
I hear you.
Who is that good though, man? That's
I'm
that
over
thing.
here freshly squeezed over here, bro.
Hey, listen, man. We got a few things to get into today, though, man. One thing that we didn't have, we got some names. We taking names, but I wanted to get your opinion on something, bro. I saw that Kevin Hart agreed to a deal with Netflix, though, man. He got like a 5-movie deal that's in the works with Netflix. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that Netflix is supposed to be doing some kind of little schedule here that they release where they're supposed to be coming out with like a new movie. Yes, 71
they got
movies.
71 movies coming. But no, it makes sense because Kevin already had a deal as far as his comedy specials with Netflix, and being that we don't know the landscape of when in theater movies are coming back, it only makes sense that you still would like to have an audience cater to being able to see your works. And so Netflix is on a rise on stuff. They got a movie coming out with The Rock. They got a bunch of stuff that's got A-list actors on it. So yeah, Netflix is handling business, man. And so it only makes sense that because of he already has the comedic deal in place that he would then do theatrical movies as well.
I am curious though to see what kind of scale of movie are we talking about, right? So with them having so much yellow tape in the movie industry now, with production teams, staff, sets, and all that other stuff, I am kind of curious to see how elaborative. Is it gonna be where it's like not quite A grade, like is it going to be B-rated settings? Is it still going to be everything that we expect? That's what I'm mainly curious about. It's going to
still be the exact same thing. You got to understand, whenever they're doing these shoots and stuff like that, you're on a constant scale of getting tested for COVID. So just like with anything else, man, they've kept productions going for other things. It's just a location at this point. So I know a lot of people are going overseas to shoot, and maybe even to Canada. So there are places that are still allowing people to work, but they just have to follow within certain capacities, different guidelines, but they can still make it work. So I don't think we're going to lose the scale of the movies. I just think that, anybody on set will have to be tested, and they will limit the amount of exposure to people as necessary when it comes to whatever particular scene that they're doing.
I think that it's, it now that you saying that puts a little bit more to context. If you ever heard that leaked audio of Tom Cruise going ham, I'm talking about going honey baked ham on them boys because they were kind of violating the protocol that they established, though, man. And he was like, yo, we got the whole entire movie industry looking at what we're doing, and you're jeopardizing the whole thing. And the only thing I was waiting for him to say out there was, show me the money, because it sounded very much like a movie script, but I thought it was epic. But that puts more context to it, though, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at even like with The Mandalorian, right? Disney, they're actually, ahead of the game because they have those sound stages that they have built. So a lot of the scenes that you've seen in The Mandalorian were actually screens. They weren't on physical locations. And so they just bought 3 of them. So instead of actually going to location and having, this big crew having to go out to location, they can just shoot with this sound stage.
That's good. That's good. Hey, let me ask you this though, man. I know that we are usually typically big on them horns on this show,
Yeah.
but last night though, man, I was watching the Alabama game, Alabama OSU, bro. And listen, to be quite honest, it looked like we're playing. We're in two different leagues that I'm watching here. I mean, it literally looked like Alabama lined up somebody from the Sun Belt Conference. I say Sun Belt because I'm a Troy alumni, but it looks like they could have gotten University of Phoenix,
Hey,
said, hey, put together a team.
you better get up off my school, brother.
University of Phoenix.
Use your school as an example.
Well, Troy has actually been ranked in the top 25 before. I don't even know if University of Phoenix even has a football, has athletics, but
I don't
it
know.
looked like that. Here's the thing that so there's layers to it, right? I think the thing that I was at least excited is that I don't think that Justin Fields, who I've been very big on Justin Fields all year long, right? But I think that I was at least glad to see that he didn't hurt his stock, saying as much with them losing the way that they did, though. But they looked overmatched. And Nick Saban now tops all coaches with the most number of national championships, beating out Paul Bear Bryant.
That's phenomenal, man. And I think that, to Texas's credit, they feel like, hey, we can't get Saban. We're gonna get the next best thing by getting Sarkisian. So I still think it was a dumb move for them to do that. But hats off to Saban for his incredible program. And he's the GOAT, bro. You
think it's a dumb move for the Horns to go get Sark?
Absolutely.
Why you say that?
Because in my book, with them, I don't know what the measurement was, meaning that if they're saying, listen, if you have two choices in order to keep your job, you got to beat Oklahoma or you got to win a Big 12 championship. And so he didn't do either of those. But from that aspect, we still had a very successful season. Yes, we lost 3 that we shouldn't have lost. One of them, was Oklahoma, so that's a toss-up. But the other 2, losing to we definitely should not have lost to Iowa State, because that was our chance to go back to the Big 12 championship. But Iowa State, sorry. But the thing is that I feel like Tom Herman should have had another year. If you was going to fire him, I don't know why. The bowl wins is what's impressive to me.
Sure.
And I'm not saying it's all about the bowls, but we played some quality opponents in the bowls. So I just think that shows the program was going in the right direction. And I'm for building programs. I'm not for, I know at one time they were going after Urban Meyer. I wasn't for that either, because he doesn't stay at programs long. I'm not for the win quick. I want to establish. That's exactly what Alabama did. They got roots in that system with the way Nick Saban does his program, and that's what I want.
So here's the thing. I think that's a little different, though, man. I think that what's happening, bro, is that I think that teams now are seeing this branch of the Nick Saban coaching tree, basically go on to eventually, produce teams that are national championship quality teams. Jimbo Fisher, who is now the coach of Texas A&M, came from that tree, won the national championship at Florida State. Dabo Swinney came from that one, won a championship, but built the franchise. I'm not franchise, but built the program on out there. I think that the big thing really is, and I think that teams like Texas are basically seeing some of these coaches. The biggest, if I'm Tom Herman, the biggest slap in the face isn't so much that I got fired from Texas, was more so that Jim Harbaugh ended up re-signing, because he'd been up there stealing money. And I just think that ultimately, though, man, I think that I'm okay with him getting fired. If you fired Charlie Strong for the same reason, then be consistent. I agree with you. I would have wanted to see him stay another year, but you got to beat OU, man. And that's at the end of the day. I think that if he would have beat OU every single year and not won a national championship, he'd still be there.
It is what it is. It's over and done with. I'm just looking at the success of Sark in other places. He was at USC and then at Washington, and it didn't really work out. So I'm just wondering what's going to be different in Texas. Again, at the expense of the team, I root for the team. So inevitably, I'm going to root for the coach to do well. But I still think And I wasn't even a Tom Herman guy. I wanted Charlie Strong to stay. So, but at the same time, I just want my team to win. But I don't think at this measure, though, at this cost.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that I liked all of the hires. All of the hires made sense to me. Like, to me, I like the idea of bringing on Charlie Strong. Loved everything about it, right? I think that even when they replaced him with Tom Herman, Tom Herman is a Texas guy. He was doing this thing out there in Houston. It always go. And the thought is that if he was doing this out there with Houston, imagine what he could do with these high caliber athletes out here. So then I like the idea of having Sark and the fact that these quarterbacks have been developed under Sark. And I've always thought that, Sam has been pretty good, as long as we got the receivers that we typically can get. I like the idea, especially in a Big 12 where offenses are spread out, that you would basically go ahead and get you an offensive minded coach. Because I think to some degree, if you look at it, bro, Nick Saban has adapted and started to go toward more offensively minded anyway. So I'm not mad at the hire though, bro, but I at least appreciate that they've been consistent with, with their direction on their thought process with hiring folks though. So
last thing before we move on, I was just gonna say it's not so much that I'm mad about the hire, it's how they hired him, but that's a different story. Let
me tell you this though. One of the things that I did notice, right? The one thing that I love seeing is that Devonta Smith, wide receiver, Heisman Trophy winner for them. Listen, I tried to explain to somebody before, and I think the one thing that was interesting is that somebody tried to compare Devonta Smith's season statistically to Stedman Bailey, of all people, right, from West Virginia, some years ago, 10 years ago or so. He put up some very comparable numbers, actually had more touchdowns. And what was funny about that is they were like, oh, yeah, I guess it's because he's in Alabama. That just looked at it like a big deal. When I watch, so I don't get a chance to watch very many Texas games out here, not the ones that aren't the big ones, the OU games, the real big ones that are out there, man, OSU. So I catch a lot of Alabama games out here. I've watched like 6 games. And of the 6 games I've watched, I've seen him clearly look like the best player that I've seen all year long, right? And he's not a very big dude. He's a slim, skinny dude, but excellent everything. Just gets open, just catches the ball, runs great routes, gets into the national championship, does exactly what I've been seeing him do, and basically wins the MVP off of what he did at the first half. I think that he, who was on that same roster with like the last 4 years, Alabama has had a slew of first-round draft, Jerry Jeudy, I think not Calvin, maybe even Calvin really was there then, but they've had a number of wide receivers that go, and he was one of those ones that were there. I thought it was dope that he didn't disappoint though, man. So I'm excited to see what he does in the NFL, because when I look at him, his build tell me that, like, if I want to say, all right, I can think of some other wide receivers who are better, but he just gets it done. And part of me is saying, like, at some point, the numbers and the impact don't lie. So I'm excited though, bro. Very excited though to see what he do in the league though.
Yeah, I'm always excited to see kids that we grow up watching in college and then see what they can do at the next level. I like what TC Lamb did. CD Lamb did all year. So
what's that? TC Lamb. Hey, listen, I just realized something too, though, bro. We might not be seeing all of the comments just yet, because since I had to get my stuff all situated on over here, man, I think that I did not get a chance to flip it on over to public. So I may not be seeing all of the comments. I'm not sure if you see everything on your end, though.
No. All I'm seeing is the stuff from Justin.
Yeah, so if there are, that may be the only comments there, but I'm not sure if you already got it set up to where we can see all of them from the. I know they usually when I do it from mine. Huh?
It says all.
Okay, we good. I just want to make sure. And by the way, if you're watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Slash Brothers Facebook and YouTube page as well. And every episode is uploaded immediately after the show and available, I believe, the next day to Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just an FYI if you haven't already. What else listen, we're on sports. Mm-hmm. Let's get right into this one.
All right.
Because I'm dying to hear what you have to say What the hell is going on with Kyrie Irving, bro? Give me the story first, and then tell me your feedback, your thoughts on this.
Okay, so it's reported that Kyrie now is on his fourth game that he's missed, and he originally left for personal reasons. He told people on the team, but did not tell his coach, Steve Nash. And so we further along, we hear that he is within protest because of what happened at the Capitol building. And then he was seen out in a video in a nightclub-ish somewhere celebrating a birthday for family member. Drake was there. He was unmasked, which is against the NBA policy as far as what players are allowed to do during the season. And so that's kind of the story. And so based upon the investigation of the videos, he would miss the next 4 games. And also, if it's anything like James Harden, by missing those 4 games, he would then also be fined. So it's one of those things that is kind of like looking like maybe he wants out. I know there was some rumblings that maybe him and KD aren't getting along anymore, which we've seen them going at it on camera during games. So who knows what's really going on with Kyrie? In my opinion, Kyrie has been a locker room cancer ever since he left Cleveland. And I think it has to do with him winning the ring a little too early. And so now it's like, what is there really left to do for him? I mean, obviously it would be dope to win a ring without LeBron, but at the same time, now you're with KD. So it's just like,
explain to me what you mean by locker room cancer, though, because that's harsh. When you say locker room cancer, that implies a lot.
Well,
what you think is going on?
Well, let's go back to Boston, right? When he came to Boston, he was hurt, and when he was hurt, them boys went to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? And then he comes back, and then you start hearing all the rumblings that he ain't talking to none of the teammates. And you know, he's the vet, and these are some young cats, and they they brought him in for his leadership. And so he was like, then doing the whole silent treatment thing, not talking to folks. And so they got him up, he's out of there. He's in Brooklyn. And so now we're seeing all of this stuff happening. So at the end of the day, it's not the teams, it's you, bro. Like, he wanted out of Cleveland from the beginning because he heard rumblings that they were considering trading him. And so, and he also wanted to get from up under the LeBron shadow because they just, he was the little brother. And I think he's starting to feel that same thing in Brooklyn because, yeah, him and KD might be friends off the court. They done did podcasts together talking about doing joint shoes and calling themselves 7-Eleven and all this other stuff. But on the court, KD is about his biz. And so I've seen KD getting at him about certain things that he's doing on the court. And I don't think he likes that. I don't think he likes the moniker of being the little brother. And so I think at this point, unless they just do some miraculous turnaround, he gonna have to be traded, bro.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that people lil bro Kyrie because it's hype? Because you don't think like Kawhi lil bros Paul George? Or do you think that do you think that other people look at Kyrie, like, not gonna say other people, but so this is my thing. Maybe I'm asking you this. When he was with LeBron, he was clearly lil bro because he was so much younger and fairly newer in the league. KD's been around as well, but when he went over to the Celtics, he was big bro, right? When he was with the Nets before KD was playing, he was big bro because, he had been in the league basically longer than most of the other players and had more success at a higher level than some of the other players. But do you think that somebody who is better than him, that he's viewing them as, I would not equals, like y'all are little bro on me?
I don't think it has anything to do with his size. I think it has to do with the, it's one of those things like when you get on a team, is for instance, here we go. When Russ went to Houston, right? According to your logic, right? You would say, well, he's joining James's team. I don't think Russ didn't think that. Russ would say, listen, I'm telling you right now, I am not Robin. And That's just that's the Russell Westbrook in him. Like he's just an alpha no matter what. It doesn't matter. You could put him on the all-star team and he would think that he was still the main dude. That's just Russ. That's just his mentality. Whereas Kyrie, and I think KD is like I said, it's not so much that KD needs a title. Like, yo, I'm the out. It's just one of those things. Like, look, when I get on the court and I'm balling, you know what it is. I don't have to say it. I don't go broadcast saying I'm the leader of the team. But when I'm on the floor, it is what it is. And so I just think that him and Kyrie thought they were going to have this understanding. And I don't know, man. You just seeing the way that KD was getting at him, bro. I just don't think that Kyrie took too kindly to that stuff, man. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not saying.
So if you so listen, you said that you got to go ahead and listen. I'm looking at what he's doing, and what he's doing is the actions of somebody who wants to be traded, bro. Like that seems like, you know, aside from he's not disrupting them on the court, but it's usually the off the court stuff that makes you think, okay, let me go ahead and I'm gonna do this, that, and the other, disrupt the team. James Harden, for example, him being up in Atlanta, taking flights, being seen partying up there in Atlanta, Vegas, and all this off court stuff that just says, all right, I'm gonna make it a little uncomfortable for some people in here, though, man. So. Is that what Kyrie's doing? And then who do you trade him to?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, honestly, is do you go ahead and make the trade for James Harden now? Like, do you go ahead and pair him up with John Wall?
I think that him and John Wall are too much of the same person on the court with the ball, right? Because John Wall, quiet as kept, John Wall had a career high from 3-point his last year. But John Wall statistically puts up some of the same numbers as Russ in terms of shooting percentages, not the triple doubles and all that other stuff, right? And so I think that you would be putting him with another ball dominant person where the ball stops when you go and you kind of watch. I don't think that it would work. I think that you basically have to trade him to another place where you get a point guard in return for. Now, listen, let me ask you this, because I'll tell you before. What do you think about? I said the same thing with trading James Harden to Utah, but then what do you think about Utah trading Mike Conley Jr. for Kyrie?
I not if they're trying to win something. Like I said, I'm sticking to the fact that Kyrie is a cancer. So for me, that's disrupting the team. I don't know where you would send him. Like I don't know I can't think of a place offhand that it's just like, yeah, this is a contender. And do you trade him to the Clippers for Pat Bev and some other folks like what's his name? Reggie Jackson, Pat
I'm
Bev.
not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest Kyrie fan, right? But I think if you put Kyrie on that team, see, I look at it like this. I look at it like this. I think it's very much how I look at Kawhi. I think that to me, Kawhi alone isn't gonna win you the ring, right? He's gonna have to have other people. If you're right there, he can be the extra superstar you need to get you over the top. I think that Kyrie might just be the same. And as much as I'm not the biggest Kyrie fan, I can totally see that working and then not working at the same time. But I think that Utah, though, makes some sense because to me, I think that clearly it was just the Donovan Mitchell show and they needed more to get him over the hump. And if you're Utah, it's going to be hard for you to just attract free agents of that caliber to just want to come there. So you typically would get them in signing trades. And so if I'm them, I'm thinking like, all right, well, I can get Mike Conley. Mike Conley is making like $45 million a year. You get Mike Conley, a couple of other, but you might even have to trade Royce O'Neal, which you trade Mike Conley, Royce O'Neal, and maybe Engler. And trading for Kyrie,
you got to keep Ingles, bro. I think if anything, maybe you give up some draft consideration,
something, because you can give up draft. Because here's the thing: if you're Utah and you're saying, well, you're always going to be drafting around 17, And while Donovan Mitchell worked out, there's more than most of the time that 17, 18 pick, 19 pick, 20, they don't really pan out to be superstar level talent. And so I think that if you figure that, all right, well, if we get Kyrie, that means that we're going to advance further in the playoffs. So we may not even get, we just going to put us back in the draft. It would be like if the Lakers traded somebody a first round draft pick. It's like, bro, it's going to be like the 29, 30 pick. It ain't going to give us that much value. So if I'm them, I would try to do it though, bro.
I mean, I don't know, man. At this point, I really don't know what's next for Kyrie, man. And he's not one to really explain himself like that until the media starts putting pressure on him. And then he'll respond like, oh, man, y'all being too sensitive. Like, I'm going through something personal, like whatever. And if it's,
Kyrie seems like he tries so hard to come across as smart, or he seems like he tries so hard to just want to feel oppressed. Like he seems like he be reaching, bro. And that be I like, it drives me the craziest because I'll watch Kyrie play though, bro. And I'm watching his game, his finishes around the basket, and everything about it just tells me that the boy got the moves. But I'm just like, I don't know what it is though, man. I've never been
the other thing too with Kyrie, he's a generous person. He's paid some scholarships and he's
absolutely
done a lot of things outside of basketball, good for the community and stuff like that. So none of that. I'm not attacking his character as a person. I just think that when it comes to basketball related stuff inside the locker room, he has a hard time getting along with people. That's just my opinion.
I guess you just got to understand him or accept him for whatever it is. You just got to accept him for that though, man. And I just think that at some point, one championship isn't enough for me to just say, you know what, I'm gonna be the bigger person this time, or I'm gonna let that ride. Like not one, nah. Yeah, crazy stuff though. So we got Saban, we got Kyrie. Who else we got, man?
So we were talking earlier about a Nicki Minaj story in reference to sampling, and I wanted to know what was going on with that.
Oh, yeah. So Nicki Minaj recently reached a settlement with Tracy Chapman for, I thought it was higher. It was just under $500,000. I think it was like $450,000. But she apparently sampled a song. The song wasn't actually on her album, but it was leaked. It was Tracy, from what I've understood, Tracy Chapman, she's on the list of artists who do not want their music to be sampled at all. And they sampled, I don't know if she repeated her lyrics or something, but I've never actually heard the song because I tried to find it. It's been pulled in most places though, man. So she sued. And I think that this lawsuit goes back a few years, and she's been sitting on this lawsuit, sitting on it. And as you can imagine, the money the price starts to keep going up and up and up and up. And so I think that, I guess, fairly smart of her to finally settle out, because I'm sure she's been offered, smaller amounts and everything like that. But that's a lot to pay for a song that you didn't make any money off of, though, bro. But I guess that's where copyrights come into play, though.
I just thought that mixtape releases were just a little bit different because they don't fall under the same rules as albums. And the fact that the song never came out, obviously, if it's leaked, I guess she would have to sue whoever leaked the song in order to, recoup some of that money back. I don't know. But at the same token, it is interesting. And it could, is this going to start a trend for people to be like, look, I got the money, so I'm going to go ahead and get one of those songs that an artist didn't want sampled and just pay the consequences for the notoriety of the song.
What if that song was just put on out regardless, right? And Nicki Minaj then goes on, it'd be the #1 record. And Nicki Minaj then says, all right, she done made $10 million off the song. And the artist, Tracy Chapman, says, nah, you got to give me half that. Like, it's $5 million and the #1 song, isn't that better than nothing? Like, I don't know. Like, I understand that though, bro. It's a hefty price to pay. I feel like you can never find who actually leaked the song. I think the reason why there was some credibility to the claim was because the song was played on Hot 97. I think Funkmaster Flex wound up playing the song though. So I think that it's interesting, bro. It's a tough dilemma, but I got to be honest, man. If I had the money and the money aside, and I also thought I could potentially get a copyright infringement lawsuit on this particular song. And if they said, listen, you gonna have to pay at the end of the day about half of what you make off of this song, you might have to go ahead and pay it back to that person. I think I might be inclined to go ahead and do the song anyway, bro.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. It could get very interesting with some of these artists that have deep pockets that are like that think they are above,
Got a question for you.
What's up?
I got a question for you. Because we about to talk about some relationships, and I thought about something here, bro, with Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj, she's been fairly recently married, right? And I think that a lot of people just seem to, I don't know. Let me ask you this, though, bro. Let's talk about the timing of this. Because I remember when Nicki Minaj was with Meek Mill. And I think that, to be quite honest with you, though, man, I kind of like Nicki and Meek being together. But Meek was in and out of jail, in some trouble, and I think that she felt like for her career she had to go ahead and let the boy go. But I think that ever since Meek Mill has not been with Nicki Minaj, he's been winning. I mean, I think he won the Billboard Rap Album of the Year. He's been doing very well for himself, despite the fact that, like Drake said, that he's not doing Nicki Minaj's tours anymore. But ever since then, no, bro, I don't know that Nicki Minaj has quite been the same. Like, she hasn't put out that gigantic record since Meek Mill. So my question for you, Ace Kennedy, while she's broke up with him and it made sense, is that am I tripping that that's the start? That's when I think, has she fell off since she broke it off with Meek, despite being personally happier?
I don't think it's that. I just think she hasn't found a new song yet.
How though? Listen, Ace, you and I know. It's one thing if me and you can't find the song, right? Because we are, our creative process starts from the ground up. It's completely grassroots, right? But that's what you got. You got A&Rs, you got all these people who their job is to find you the hit.
I just don't know where her mind is at musically. She just had a baby, and like you said, she's recently married. So, and she had the Queen Bee, the whatever it is,
I think she had the Queen Bee radio.
Yeah, whatever it's called. I don't think it's Queen Bee, because I mean that's Beyonce, but
Pink Radio or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is. She had her her podcast. So it's just like she had a lot of other ventures that she was doing, and that could be a cover up because she couldn't find something. But I still think she just, I don't know what has she really dropped. Like, she's been doing a bunch of features, really.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about it. Her features been snapping. Like, when she's dropping those features though, bro, she's been doing her thing though, man.
Yeah.
So speaking of relationship, this is something that I find to be completely curious. I posted this question on my Facebook page here, bro. So I'm tripped out because I wanted to get some perspective on this one, because this apparently was everywhere. The other day, I see that the research department tells me, hey, did you hear that Lori Harvey is with Michael B. Jordan? And within 5 minutes of her saying this, I see it on Baller Alert, Shade Room, and then it's on MSN, it's on CNN, listen, they're even on Fox News, has a column that says, hey, these folks are Instagram couple, like they're Instagram public. Ace Kennedy, I got a question for you, bro.
What's up? Now,
you and I have on this podcast, we have applauded Nick Cannon, has one of the most impressive man resumes. Who can you put him up against? Very few. He's got He scooped up some of the hottest in their primes before others did. I mean, he has been with some top notch, and we give him if there was a Slash Brothers Hall of Fame, he would be in there as a first ballot man Hall of Fame based off his resume. Leonardo DiCaprio is also known to only date models, and everybody unanimously says that this man has an impressive man resume.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Kennedy, I see Lori Harvey with at least 4 to 5 new guys every year, bro. And I've seen that at this time around, Michael B. Jordan said, no, he's ready to be in a serious relationship. But, bruh, maybe this is a question for the women, but I want to ask you this.
Okay.
Is it a double standard if we didn't quite look at Lori Harvey like she was putting together a good woman? Is there a woman resume? Do women in general look at Lori Harvey and say, huh, you got a nice little resume of exes, right? Is that, I know that it's a double standard, but does that exist?
I think part of it is because she's so public. You know, she's a public figure, and everybody's always looking at. I mean, you think about like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has like that resume too of people that she's been with.
Yes.
And so the thing is that I think because it's public. I mean, you think about just a regular girl and how many relationships she's might go through, and the thing is it didn't really phase me at all. Like, I was more so happy for Michael B. Jordan than anything. Like, it didn't even.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You, as a man who got 4 daughters, right, and a sister who I'm thankful for this very reason why I didn't grow up with any sisters at all. And I'm so thankful, and probably the reason why I'm super protective of my own sister here, my sister-in-law, and my mama, for this very reason. Because listen, Ace, let's just say, I'm not going to even call them your family, but you have this girl, and you see her every other month. She brings a new person around you, a new face. You like, yo, at what point do you just kind of pull it to the side, if at all, and be like, no, this ain't cute. Do you at all?
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
do you? Whoa, when does whoa come into play?
Is it really every other month though with her though? I don't think it's just
Ace
because
Kennedy.
it's public.
Ace Kennedy. This woman has been with Diddy and Diddy's son. She's been with Diddy. Do you hear what I'm saying, bro? She's been with Diddy and his son, right? And then she's been with, and her list, her resume reads Diddy. Okay, there we go. I changed my privacy on here, so we can see more comments on here, by the way. Shout out to Brittany, bro. Shout out to my girl Shamir for checking in. I'm hoping that you jump on with us probably here in the next couple of weeks, by the way, when we do our small business check-ins. But listen, this woman has been with Trey Songz, Future. Didn't get pregnant by Future, by the way. Kudos for that. Diddy and Diddy's son. She has been, I'm talking about just all the ones that were probably in the past maybe year, right? Now she was on, listen, Diddy and Steve Harvey look like they're about the same age. They own a family vacation together. Boy, listen, is it are we okay with that? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm old fashioned. Am I old? Am I getting old in these streets, bro?
I think you're getting old, bro. I mean, I'm just saying, like, first of all, we don't know what she's doing with these people. She could just be hanging out. And then on top of that, within a year, again, what's the average for people that are dating? Because they're dating and being committed to someone is 2 different things. Like, and that's the thing, like I said, because her life is so public, that's what makes it look bad.
Okay, listen, let's just say speak. I haven't been on the scene like that in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of wondering, right? The mileage. Let's talk about this, man. Does this count as mileage and body counts, though, bro? Like this is what I'm wondering. Like I understand if you said, "Oh yeah, she went out to the movies a couple times. She done went out and hung out at the cookout and everything like that." But I'm thinking that at some point, if I'm talking to you for 3 months, within 3 months, I got to get at the cakes. Let's just be honest here. So my thing is that that's me. I think I'm a pretty cool dude. I can get real jiggy, but I can't be the only one, right? So after that, it doesn't work out. Boom, you right back in the next relationship. Then it's like the cycle goes all over and over again. So let me ask you this, Ace King. Do you keep going? Like, why stop now then, right? Like, do you just keep piling them on up?
Man, I think she's dating, trying to find the person she wants to spend the rest of her life with. So
is that what she's doing? Maybe she doesn't have any plans to be married.
Yeah, maybe she's just dating. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, again, she's a public figure. That's how she makes money. So the fact that she's attached to Michael B. Jordan right now, that actually helps her brand. So, and a lot of people look at that. Like, people strategically plan stuff, photo op. They know that if there's out seen with this person, that blogs get to talking, and then that your name is right back into that cycle again. Look what we're talking about on our podcast right now, because she's in the news with him.
Listen, let me read you. I'm trying to read one of these comments here that I saw somebody said about defending her. Oh my gosh, I gotta find it, bro. I was just like, hey, you. Oh my gosh, bro. Somebody said she walked away unscathed from dating Future with no kids, bro. That's a win by herself. I just wonder, bro. I'm just curious, man, that if this is, oh my gosh, I can't find it, bro. But I'm just kind of curious though, bro, if this, maybe it's just my I just always thought that if the perception of a woman, that if she's messing with a bunch of guys, right, and that she slept, and let's just say if she slept with every guy that you've ever seen her in a picture with, I just always thought that there was this perception that girls who sleep around you don't look at them the same way, because of that double standard that you would look at Nick. Do people say, "Whoo, she's like the Nick Cannon out here. She got an impressive woman resume."
Man, I think I think we believe way too much stuff that we see and not actually the stuff that's really going down.
Maybe
for that, I think she grown. You know what I'm saying? She grown. She can do what she want to do, man. Because the thing is that we not seeing every person that these dudes is knocking down. So I mean, it is a double standard because of the perception. But again, I just think that it's some of that stuff is strategically planned. And you know, I think that her relationship with Michael B. Jordan is a true relationship. So all the other stuff, I just think, like I said, some of that stuff be for publicity, man. Can't believe everything.
I get it. I get it though, bro. But my God, but it makes sense for her. She ends up winning because she's not coming out with no new song, right? What is she coming out with, a new dance video? Like, I think isn't that what she does? Like, she's like she's a socialite, right? She is famous for being famous then, because like she's like Kim Kardashian then, right? Like, she might have skills like business and everything like that, but I mean, it's like, as far as you know, she ain't got that new single coming out. It's like, maybe, right. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I said, the relationship is just as positive for her as it is for Michael B. Jordan, because for him, it's a win because of who she is and what she looks like. And then for her, it's Michael B. Jordan. So it's a win for both of them. And
let me ask you that. Oh, I got a question for you. Shout out to Candace on the comments. So since she agreed with you, let me ask you something here, bro. Okay. So you know how when people always say, this is just something here off the cuff. When people say, "Oh yeah, I can," your past is your past, right? Mm-hmm. How much of someone's past would you know and still be okay with moving forward with them? Right? Is there a cap on how much of the past?
No, I not for me, because I know my own past, and so for me, I think that as long as we're both straight, as far as the checks and balances of medical status, then I think it's open game. Like I'm just saying, it's just like, again, I'm 40 years old, so there's some mileage there.
At,
So
at 40, there's no. We're not. So I guess my thing is that okay. So I put like this. I'd imagine that the past, right? That applies when you're 40. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. But listen, I would think that when you're 40, the only rules of the past that I would think would apply is that you don't date friends' exes, right? Maybe that's, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to have nothing to do with nobody who you used to mess with, bro.
But how? Okay, that's a very small window, and I think that's a very old way of thinking. I think that
I'm old, bro. I'm 40. I'm a man.
Okay, I get
Come
that.
at me.
But I'm saying, once you get, like, if you were still dating in your 40s, it's gonna be your list is gonna be very, very short. You're gonna be swiping right and left on a whole bunch of stuff because she know this person, and he like, nah, like
how far back does okay. How far back do you go? That's what I'm wondering. What is the cap? If that's the case, is it whatever is acceptable? So let's just say if you and I have established that, listen, any of my exes are within play. They fair game. Oh, you can get any of mine.
Right.
Right. Oh, you said, oh, okay. Well, you did have this hot one.
I just think it's a conversation. Like, because my thing is that y'all are exes. So, and then it's also the levels to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it was somebody like let's say if it was somebody that was a previous wife, or you were engaged to this person, or I mean, I don't know, just the situation and conversation, I think is the important key to that. That's
I couldn't listen, man. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest. Speaking only for me, it doesn't have any expiration. I wouldn't date. I wouldn't even talk to any girl who you used to date in middle school, bro. All of your girls ever in your past would be completely off limits for me, and nor would I even look to. But if for some reason, if I started talking to somebody and I said, I know you don't know this person, you don't know this girl whatsoever, and then she says, oh yeah, you friends with a mine? Yeah, we used to date in 6th grade. I'm breaking up with her right then and there, or we stopped talking right then and there.
I have an ex roommate that's dating one of my exes right now. Like,
you have an ex. Hold on, you have an ex roommate who is currently dating one of your old exes,
right? And
they know. Hold on, now do both of them know that you're the middle person? So he knows you used to date this girl. Did he know that before he pursued it?
Yeah.
Or did he find out afterwards?
Nah, he knew. The crazy thing is, because I ran into him at the reunion.
You know what? I was gonna ask you that, bro. You was talking, you getting real spicy right now, and I'm just trying to make sure this is within fair games here to be talking about.
I ain't naming no names. I ain't naming no names. I just said what I said.
Oh my gosh, bro. So you're saying that if this is somebody who you ran into at the reunion, then this is a fellow Rue Dog, apparently.
I said what I said. You ain't. Why are you trying to go deeper?
Listen, I'm saying. So you have. So this is an ex of yours who is now dating an old roommate of yours. We've never lived together.
Nah.
You and Mel ain't never lived together. Let's just rule out the people from the box. By the way, you've never lived with Mel. You never lived with me. You've never lived with Spark. You've never lived with Randy. You've never lived with Gary or Brian or Ken. Okay, I just want to make sure I ain't got nobody from the box that's out here violating all kind of crimes out here,
I mean,
violating all kind of man codes.
I mean, everybody in the box ain't scathe free either. So you know.
Oh my gosh! Listen, Ace Kennedy. This is my point. I don't. They're the same way that I'm looking right now. I don't want anybody to be looking at me thinking like, damn, you out here in these streets, that boy. It doesn't matter how. Listen, Ace, I don't know. Depending on what you say you did, you was off the. I'm not trying to put your business all the way out there, but you was off the porch earlier than I was.
Yeah,
right?
but I definitely ain't finna. I'm not putting mine out there either. I said,
okay, so listen. So because that's the case, I would say, bro, if I knew somebody and they said, yeah, you know, me and Ahmad used to talk in 6th grade, my first question would be, what y'all do? Because then that would tell me what my play is. Because then I got to have the conversation with you.
I think you afterwards. I think you were safe in 6th grade, bro. I think you were good.
6?
Yeah, you were good.
6 is cool.
Yeah.
7th grade.
It's cool.
7th grade was cool.
Yeah.
8th grade, we might need to make sure Deuce isn't watching this. We might need to make sure. Listen, bro. I don't know, Ace. I have boundaries on those kind of things. I don't think that I would ever. I don't think that I would ever date any. If I'm friends with someone, I could never see myself. Those are my boundaries when it comes to accepting someone's past. It's like, no, your past and my current scenario or situation overlaps and we cross.
I think it's a conversation, man. I think, like I said, at some point, like I said, we're 40.
Did you smash?
So with us being as old as we are, the circles get a whole lot smaller and the world is small.
That's true.
So,
and Colleen is small. And to that point, Colleen is a very small, and it doesn't take very many times for you to run into someone where they don't know at least someone you know, right?
No, Oklahoma.
I was going to say, Oklahoma appears to be the same way, according to the big homie Chris Top, aka the bad guy. Doesn't take it sounds to me like Oklahoma City is like a big Colleen.
Pretty much.
Bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's possible. I suppose it's possible then. And it's not for me. That's all I'm saying. I wouldn't knowingly get into that.
Man, just got to see. Obviously we're not in those situations. So, but I'm just saying, you'd be surprised. Speaking of relationships, though, we reported last week that Kanye and Kim are headed towards divorce, according to the reports. But somebody close to their team came out and said that the rumor of them of Kanye and Jeffree, what's the
Jeffree Star?
Yeah, that was not true. Well, the person who actually started the rumor, the TikTok toilet liquor, she finally came out and said that it was definitely made up, that that Kanye was not messing with that person, and so it's been debunked. And so I don't remember if we even brought that part up last week, but
we kind of did. See, we kind of got into that one, because here's the thing, though, man. So let's talk about this, though. So you mentioned that the girl who brought this rumor to, or started this rumor, was a girl who was a big TikToker, right? And I don't think that she is kind of known for very much else, right? So she apparently brought this rumor about. And the interesting thing about this, though, man, is that I guess it just kind of tells you how fast and how gullible people can be. The fact that it would spread that fast. But I think that what's also interesting about this, though, man, is that Jeffree Star is also somebody who is kind of a YouTuber. Oddly enough, he's one of the highest paid YouTubers out there. He is LGBTQ, whatever all the initials are. He has a makeup line, and he's been linked to a few different guys. I think that one of the guys who he was recently linked to was one of the players for the Utah Jazz. They sit here on vacation and they booed up. And homeboy, meanwhile, is married, and his wife is like, "What the whole hell is going on with this?" And so I think that that's kind of interesting. And so, but the other part about it too, man, is that, you know, I think that this dude just knows how to keep his name out there, because once the rumor was put on out there that he was messing with Kanye, he immediately did a post where he was like, "All right, I'm ready for Sunday service," had his little makeup and everything, and he's trolling along with it. And I guess that's what you do. And very similarly, if this girl licked the toilet to keep her name out there like that, it just seems like the whole thing is kind of weird, though, man. I just disappointing that
she got sued, is from what I understand, which is why she came out and said, because I mean, obviously, people were sharing it, like sharing her post out there, and of course, a bunch of media posts picked up on it and they commented on it and reported it. So it's one of those things. And like I said, especially right now, because if they are seriously going through a divorce, you don't need any more scandal stuff out there attached when that's not even necessarily true. Because you can affect, when you affect people's livelihoods, that's when you're going too far. So
are they really going to get divorced, bro? Do you think they're really going to get divorced?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know. This could, like we talked about, this could very well be an angle that they're using to promote their new show. We know how the Kardashians do, so this is not out of the realm of possibility that this is nothing more than a stunt. So who knows? I'm
expecting something dope for Kanye to come out with, bro. Like any minute now, like I'm expecting for Kanye to come out with another shoe, another album, something, bro, that I think that this is gonna lead the promo. Like it's just something to me about it. People have been saying they're gonna get divorced for like the last 3 years, and then every time they say they're gonna get divorced off and on, like the last time I heard that they were gonna get divorced, then she winds up being pregnant and has another kid, basically. And then it's like there's always something new, and it's like I don't want to just make it seem like I'm downplaying this, because they could very well, you know, be going through it. But it just also feels like it doesn't feel real to me, though, man. Like I'm just like, nah, I'd have to see it absolutely before I believe it.
Yeah, only time will tell. Then, like we said, if we get to the new show and this is like the leading angle, then it's gonna be like, all right, you know.
Hey, one quick question for you.
What's up?
Kim Kardashian becomes single. Is the game gonna try to holler at her?
Absolutely. Again.
Oh my gosh.
Either
you got game as the prime suspect for everybody when they become single, huh?
Right.
Oh my gosh. Listen, we have some names. Did we get all the names, bro?
Got all the names, man. Just like we
got all the names. Got all the names, man.
Wasn't clickbait.
Oh my gosh. What you got on deck for the week, man?
Man, listen, I gotta make a couple of errands real quick, and then I gotta get in the studio. I have a goal for myself, so I'm trying to get that taken care of. And then of course I gotta get everybody seeing what's up with the boy Deuce on basketball. So I mean, pretty busy week. We getting some things done around the house. So yeah, very, very busy week. What about yourself?
Yes. Speaking of music, though, man, by the way, while you work, I think it'd be a good look. Shout out to the boy Soprano Sabella checking in on the comments. I see you there, boy. It'd be dope if y'all linked up, man. Soprano does dope music, and I think that he does. You know, it's not even like he does the whole. You see a lot of people who do the rapping with the melodies. He actually sings really good. He's on my hook. Bro, me the dope hook. I think it'd be a dope look, though, man. So shout out to him.
We definitely, that's definitely a plan for 2000.
That would be fire, though, bro. But, yeah, that would.
I gotta finish this project up first that I already have slated. So once I finish that project, I'll be moving on to the next, and that's definitely a plan. So no, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, he sends me some music periodically to check out, though, and it's fire. He's definitely on track to put out something I think is real dope, though. So other than that, though, man, I think that for me, I think I'm hoping to do some mixing. And anytime I'm not mixing, I think I've been having this creative buzz, bro, where I've been having Been back in the lab on beats, and my production next level though, bro. I'm talking about it's been going on, and I think that it's right on time because I think that now I am currently I got 4 projects that are currently in play now at the same time. I got you, I got the big homie Rakita Real, I got the homie PBR that's coming through, and then of course I got the Bel Air 3 that's always being cooked up. So I think that for me, especially now, that creative edge is going next level though, bro. So I'm gonna pick up on that some more though, man. And other than that, I'll be doing what everybody else doing, binging and kicking it though, man.
What's up on that Holla Boys?
Listen, that is a very good question. And it is one of those things where I'm looking to see how this goes. I think they use it. Let me tell you the one thing and we can get off on this. The one thing that they used to love when me and PBR did Holla Boy albums, we actually used to have writing sessions where we would get up, we would put on a beat, and we would write. I would write my flow, he would write his flow, and I would see what he's talking about, and then he would see what I'm talking about, and we was pushing each other. And the weird part about it is that it doesn't have that same kind of feel, but the bars though definitely would be there. So I think that for the most part though, man, I gotta see how that goes though.
It's an easy fix though. It's just you generate an idea and send it to him. He generate an idea, send it to you, and y'all vibe off each other like that. I mean,
it's in theory, it seems easy. I just want to feel organic. Like I think that a lot of the stuff that me and him did just felt, just from an artistic perspective, it felt right. Like we always were trying to top each other though, and that's what was dope.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's coming. I might listen. We might slide a little EP out though, man, and see what's up though, man. But yeah, the good thing here is though, man, I think that he's in a space creatively to where he is looking to put something on. Now, I think that he was low-key inspired by that Bel Air 2 live from 1999, and he saw that slipping away and was like, yo, I got to get in. So it's coming.
That's what's up. All right, bro.
Yeah, other than that, though, man, I'm binging and I'm kicking back, homeboy. That's about it, though, man.
Yeah, we got
Ace Kennedy, my brother. Let's get that music going. Let's get on out of here, man. Bring it home. OFO dance.
The Slash Brothers Podcast,